Hi everybody, I am Katie and today I am going to show you how to make a cartoon laptop with Adobe Illustrator using tools like the selection tool, direct selection tool, rectangle tool, and ellipse tool. First we are going to start by taking our rectangle tool and making a nice sized rectangle on the screen, and we're going to change it to be a darker color gray. The next thing I am doing here is taking my selection tool and just moving my shape up a little bit. And now I am going to grab the rectangle tool again and make a second box slightly smaller inside of the bigger box and changing the color to a light blue, which will be our screen for our laptop. Now I'm going back to my selection tool and moving the inside blue shape to where I would like it to fit inside the bigger rectangle. Now I'm grabbing both rectangles and centering them, and now I'm going to grab my ellipse tool and make an oval. As you see here, sometimes you make a mistake and have to start over, and so I start over making my new oval shape, making it just slightly bigger than the rectangles. And now I grab my selection tool and move the oval over to the side so it's only covering just a portion of the screen. The next thing we want to do is go to our fill and stroke over on our left side and double click and then make our oval a lighter shade of blue. Now you will want to select your blue rectangle and your blue oval and go through your three dots and find your divide tool. And then you are going to click your shapes and ungroup them and then delete the outer part of the shape. And then I like to go back in, select both my blue shades and group them again. And now go up and find your rectangle tool again and make a shape that is slightly wider than your outer gray screen on your laptop. Then you'll go in and make it smaller and pick a lighter shade of gray than the one you used for your background. And I like to select everything and center it. And now I'm going to grab my direct selection tool and select only the bottom two corners of the thing and pull them all the way in. And then I realized I did not like it, so I went back, undid it, grabbed my selection tool, and pulled the shape in slightly so it was a little smaller. I went back up, grabbed the direct selection tool again, grabbed the bottom two corners, and pulled them in all the way again. And then I went up to the top and on the gray shape did the top two corners and pulled them in just slightly. And then I will grab my blue rectangles and move them slightly to center them in the gray. And now I'm going to select everything, but here I use the direct selection tool and I just wanted the selection tool, so I select everything again and I align it to the middle. Now we'll go ahead and grab the rectangle tool, change the fill to the dark gray, same as the background, and make a small rectangle, a longer thin rectangle in the middle and along the top of the bottom light gray piece. Then I'll go and grab my selection tool and I will select the shape and I'll move it up a little bit to get rid of the line, and then I'll select all of my gray pieces and align them in the center. And I will go back up to the rectangle tool and I will start making a rectangle in the middle of the shape a little smaller than our laptop blue piece. Then I'll grab the direct selection tool and double click on the corner piece and just slide it out slightly to get a nice angle. I will then go down to my eyedropper tool and just select the white. Next I'll go to the opacity and make it just 15%. Then I'll grab my selection tool, grab the shape and move it so it is flush with the bottom blue part of the screen and then move it over the side a little bit. And then at the very end, I like to select everything and then group it all together. And those are your steps on how to make a cartoon laptop using Adobe Illustrator. Please like and share and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming content. See you there.